Hi, it's Dr. Weideman again, and I'm going to show you how to use StatCrunch to work some problems in Chapter 4. So first I'll do one from my StatLab homework to give you an idea of how the data will appear. Here's one that's showing percent change in population for two regions, and they've created a back-to-back stem and leaf plot here, which is a really nice way to see the histogram and compare the distribution side by side. So if you notice, region 1 seems to have lower percent changes. Region 2 seems to have it stretched higher and also have some outliers on the upper end here. And we can open the data set up. Remember how you do that. Click here and open it. So I've already opened it up. And here's the actual data set. And so they've asked us now some questions about this. They want us to, they've given us the stem and leaf, and now they want us to do some box plots side by side. So let's go over. And we've got them in two different columns here. So we're going to go do a graph and we're going to do a box plot. We're going to select both regions. Remember to control click to select the same one. Now we're not going to group by because we have the data in different columns, but we're going to go ahead and put them on the same X and Y axis so that we can see them side by side. Okay, so here's what it looks like. And again, we notice that the region 1 is pretty tightly clustered, whereas region 2 has a stretch out here. And let's make sure that we also selected, oh we didn't, we wanted to identify outliers, and we actually do have one outlier here which we could identify, which was the first year, whatever it was, in that data set for this particular year in region 1 and region 2, outliers, really a big outlier up here. So let's take a look at, it wants us to pick which would be the correct display here. And you can make these larger, notice. So that one's got one outlier out there, and I think that's what we had, isn't it? Let's take a look. We had one outlier. That one looks pretty darn good. Let's see, this one doesn't have any outliers on it. What's the difference with this one? Okay, this one's showing this and this. Let's see. So if we can have both of these opened at the same time, I don't think you can. I'm trying to see what the difference is between, oh, this one looks different at the top. Let's go back and look at our graph here. Ours looks fairly symmetric. So let's take a look there. That one or this one. Oh, there's a little difference in the length of the bars. Let's take a look at ours. Now ours has a stretch out here, so this looks like a better choice. If you notice the difference here, there's more of a stretch there, so let's go ahead and check it. So we did get that right. Let's see what else they asked us to do. Describe the difference in the growth rates. So which one is tightly clustered? That was region 1, and region 2 is unimodal. Now can we really tell that off of here? Let's go back over and make sure we understand that it's unimodal. Let's go ahead and do some histograms, because we really need to look at the histograms to see if they're unimodal or not. And one thing I'm going to do is select the same X and Y axis so that we can compare them. So there's region 1 and there's region 2. Region 2 is definitely unimodal. Region 1 actually might be bimodal if you take a look at that. We could edit this a little bit and maybe change our binwidth. Let me go back for a second and see what the binwidths were on there. Oh, they were pretty small. Let's go ahead and change our binwidth maybe to 5. Let's see if that smooths it out a little bit. Yeah, that does smooth it out a little bit. So it does look like it's unimodal. Let's take a look at the other one. See what happens when you change the binwidth on one, it's going to affect the other one. The way to get around that might be to not do them at the same time. You could do one at a time. So that'll help you when you've got a data set. Or you've got a My StatLab homework problem. Let's take a look at a StatCrunch data set. So this one is on miles per gallon, and they looked at it by country. So let's take a look at a box plot, and we're going to do it on gas mileage, and we're going to group by the country. And make sure again you use those fences to identify your outliers. And so if we take a look here, we notice that the US here, fairly tightly grouped together, not a whole lot different than the others. However, they both have outliers. Here's one here. Let's see if we can find out where that was. There it is there. And then remember to click back up here in row to unhighlight. And then we've got two outliers here that actually fall exactly at the same place. And you could go ahead and do your summary statistics again. Let's do summary stats on columns. I'm going to do it on gas mileage, and we're going to group it by country. pick whatever you'd like here. Maybe we pick the mean, standard deviation, maybe the median, and the IQR might be interesting to take a look at. And you're going to get output. Oh, I didn't select the column. That would help. Okay. And you're going to get output now for each of the columns. You're going to get their mean, their standard deviation, whatever summary statistics that you select. So hopefully this will get you started looking at comparing distributions. And again, box plots are a really nice way to compare. However, you really can't tell the modality, so you want to be careful when you're having to work with a question asking you if it's unimodal or bimodal. You're going to want to go ahead and do a histogram.